Betrayal is a word you read in novels, something you watch in movies. You never expect it to happen in your own life. But when it does, it doesn't just break your heart. It burns your soul. And mine came from the two people I trusted most, my boyfriend and my best friend. This is the story of how they betrayed me and how I destroyed their perfect little wedding. I always thought Emily was my sister in everything except blood. We met in college, and from the first day we clicked. She was loud, funny, and always the center of attention. I was quieter, more focused, the kind of person people went to for advice. We balanced each other. Everyone said we were inseparable. We even joked that when we grew old, we'd live next door to each other and drink wine every evening. I believed her when she said I was the one person she'd never hurt. Then there was Ryan. He wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my dream. Tall, charming, with a way of making me laugh even on my worst days. He brought me flowers when I was stressed, remembered the smallest details of our conversations, and talked about a future together. We had been dating for almost 2 years, and he wasn't just a boyfriend anymore. He was the man I imagined standing with at the altar. For a long time, everything felt perfect. My best friend and my boyfriend even got along. Too well in hindsight. But back then, I thought, what could be better than the two most important people in my life being close? It was a Tuesday evening when everything changed. Ryan had told me he had to stay late at work. Something about reports, deadlines, the usual excuse. I didn't doubt him. Why would I? Instead, I thought I'd surprise him. I picked up his favorite dinner, spicy noodles and spring rolls, and drove to his apartment. I still remember humming along to the radio, smiling like a fool, thinking how happy he'd be when he saw me. But happiness died the moment I opened his door. Emily was there. My Emily. Sitting on his couch, wrapped in his arms, laughing the way she used to laugh with me. Their faces lit up with the kind of intimacy that can't be mistaken. I dropped the bag of food without a sound. The paper tore, noodles spilled onto the floor, but they didn't notice. They were too busy being in love. For a second, the world went silent. My heart pounded so hard it felt like it would break through my chest. I wanted to scream. I wanted to rip her hair out, slap him across the face, demand answers. But instead, I quietly closed the door and walked away. That night, I cried until my eyes were swollen. My best friend. My boyfriend. Together. The betrayal cut deeper because it was both of them. I kept asking myself, was I blind? Was I stupid? How long had this been going on? I didn't sleep. I just lay there in the dark. The image of them burned into my mind. But in that darkness, something shifted. The tears dried. The shaking stopped. And in its place, a new feeling took root. Cold. Sharp. Determined. They had destroyed my heart. But I would destroy their illusion of happiness. So I played along. For weeks, I pretended I didn't know. I still met Emily for coffee. I still kissed Ryan when he came over. I let them think they were clever. I let them believe I was the clueless fool. And all the while I watched them. The stolen glances. The whispered excuses. The sudden plans that never included me. They thought they were invisible, but every move they made was another knife in my back. Months later, the news came. Emily and Ryan were engaged. I remember staring at the invitation, my hands trembling, not with sadness, but with rage. They had the audacity to invite me, to parade their betrayal in front of me like a trophy. But instead of tearing the invitation apart, I smiled. Because I knew this was the chance I had been waiting for. See, Ryan had never changed his college email password. I don't even know why I tried it, but one night, when the anger was eating me alive, I typed it in. And just like that, I was in. What I found inside was delicious. Dozens of emails. Between Ryan and another woman. Not Emily. Another affair. Another betrayal. He was promising her trips, gifts, even love. He was cheating on the woman he had stolen me for. It was almost poetic. From that moment, my plan wrote itself. I downloaded the emails, saved screenshots, and tucked them away like weapons. I waited patiently, acting like the broken ex who had moved on. And when the wedding day arrived, I dressed in my best, walked into that beautifully decorated hall, and took my seat like any other guest. Emily was radiant in her gown, walking down the aisle as if she were stepping into a fairy tale. Ryan stood at the altar, smug, confident, ready to claim his prize. The guests smiled, cameras flashed, music swelled. And then the officiant asked if anyone had a reason why these two should not be joined in marriage. I stood. The room fell silent. Dozens of eyes turned to me. Emily stopped mid-step, her face draining of color. Ryan's smirk vanished. My voice was calm, steady, almost cold.
Yes.
I have a reason. I walked to the front, pulled out my phone and said, "Before you promise each other forever, maybe you should know the truth." With one tap, the screen lit up and Ryan's own words filled the air. "I can't wait to see you again. Emily is just a phase. You're the one I really want." "Don't worry, she'll never find out." The guests gasped. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Emily's bouquet slipped from her hand, hitting the floor with a dull thud. Ryan stammered, trying to deny it, but the emails kept coming, line after line, each one cutting deeper. Emily's mother burst into tears. Ryan's father shook his head in disgust and walked out. The officiant looked horrified. And Emily? She collapsed onto a chair, her dream shattered in front of everyone she knew. The wedding was over. I turned to leave, but not before looking Emily in the eye. For a brief moment, I almost pitied her. She had stolen my love, and now she knew exactly what it felt like to be betrayed. But pity vanished as quickly as it came. She made her choice when she stabbed me in the back, and now she would live with it. In the weeks that followed, everything unraveled. Ryan lost not just his fiancée, but also his job when the scandal spread to his office. His friends stopped calling. His reputation was in tatters. Emily disappeared from social media, too humiliated to face the whispers. People who once admired her now pointed fingers and laughed behind her back. As for me, I walked away lighter than I had in months. Because revenge isn't always about destroying someone. Sometimes it's about showing the truth. Sometimes it's about standing tall when they expect you to fall. And to this day, when people ask if I regret it, I smile.
No.
I don't regret exposing them. They took my trust, my love, my peace. I took their illusion of happiness.
That, to me, is balance.
That is justice. So if you've ever been betrayed, remember this. Don't let anger eat you alive. Don't waste your tears on people who don't deserve them. Be patient. Be smart. Because lies always catch up. And when they do, you'll be ready to show the world the truth. Just like I did. Now I'll leave you with one question. If you were standing there, in that wedding hall, holding all the evidence of betrayal in your hands, would you have stayed silent? Or would you have done exactly what I did, and let karma take center stage? Asterisk.